How clean are your clothes? A dumb question? Maybe not. This portion of the Torah is usually called the Sinai Chronicles. The Sinai Chronicles is the time of the 11 and a half months that was done and that they stayed on the mountain. And it will cover the last 20 chapters of Exodus. It will cover all 27 chapters of Numbers, or Leviticus, and it will cover the first 10 chapters of Numbers. That's a total of 67 chapters. Now this is right now going into full swing. And we are in the second week of what is known as the Tabernacle Chronicles. And its theme is holiness. Now, consider that one of the three reasons that God brought the children out of Israel, out of Egypt, was to make a kingdom of priests. And you got to understand, God is following through with his plan. And he's going to take that plan and take every person he redeems, and he's going to allow them to perform priestly functions on his behalf. God is about to unveil a non-threatening system throughout that's designed to teach them and us how he thinks, how he feels about the things on the earth and the heaven, how he prioritizes the things, and how he perfectly applies the wisdom and the compassion on every person, situation, or circumstances. This non-threatening system is programmed from the very beginning to be a temporary fix. Now, the system that God is designing is so that he and his bride would be able to meet and talk only through delegated emissaries and through a spiritual protocol. The only thing is, at that particular point, he assigned Aaron and his sons as leading roles. But guess what? We are all understudies. And we're waiting in the wings. Okay? The tabernacle at that point belongs in the two worlds. You got the seen and the unseen. Every part that was built on the earth, I don't care if it's the curtain, the furniture, the board, the silver sockets, or the utensils itself, all represents a spiritual reality. And if that is true, then that means that those who are appointed to serve as priests are also only representatives of the one more real, holy, and righteous than Aaron or us can ever hope to be. The ministry of Aaron is connected to the ministry of the Messiah. Aaron and his sons were to be our stand-ins. But when Aaron lights the lamps of the menorah, which is the first verse that was just read, he was showing us the way that the Messiah illuminates the creation and provides the light of the world, and in the way that we, as his priests, are to do the same. When Aaron winds up placing the bread and the wine on the table of showbread, he is showing the way that the Messiah places before us the bread of life and new wine that exists. And he's also showing us, as his priests, that we are to set the bread of life and new wine of the kingdom before everyone that comes into contact with our sphere of influence. When Aaron winds up lighting the incense on the altar of incense, he's showing that the intercession of the Messiah, it is in behalf of the whole human race, and the intercession that we are to make, the intercession we are to make as his priests for every person and every situation that we are faced with. When Aaron raises his hand like Dr. Spock, or Spock of Star Trek, when he raises his hand and he speaks the Aaronic benediction, he is reminding us that in Messiah, God is doing the very same thing. And we, as his priests, are to release blessings upon the earth for such a time as this. You know, it's as if Aaron is speaking to all of us. Hebrews chapter 3, verse 11, which reads, "Holy brothers who have shared in the heavenly calling, fix your thoughts on Yeshua, the apostle and the high priest, whom we all confess." To be his priest, we have to serve in holiness. You do not take his glory. You know, the priesthood of Messiah, which Aaron was a symbol or a sign, was recorded in Psalm 110. Now, that's a psalm that Messiah applied to himself. This psalm states that there's a greater priesthood than the Aaronic priesthood. And this is also mentioned in the basis as far as the book of Hebrews is concerned. Now, there is a reason. There are three reasons why Messiah's priesthood is better than Aaron's. One, it's spiritual, not earthly. Two is the fact that in that one, it is dealing with a heavenly Mishkan, not an earthly tabernacle. And number three, the offerings that are offered in heaven by Yeshua is greater than the offerings that Aaron could ever wind up producing here on earth. Now, it's because of the offerings in the heavenly Mishkan is real. The ones that were offered by Aaron were symbolical. It's as simple as that. The priesthood of the Messiah not only enables us as his priests to experience the ultimate relationship with God, but it also means that our prayers are acceptable and our offerings are a sweet savor to God. Messiah's priesthood is what gives us, as his priests, the light that enables us to be able to see what our Father is doing so that we can join him in the process of doing it. It gives us that very power that because of what we were prophetically empowered to do and to complete what we have been commissioned to do. Aaron's priesthood served a purpose. But the reason why Aaron's people did not accomplish all these things was very simple. It wasn't intended to. Aaron's priesthood was to point us to and to create a hunger in us for the priesthood of the Messiah, which will accomplish all of these things. Now I'll ask the question again. As God's priest, how clean are your clothes?
Amen.